Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Sethum and welcome back to another video guide for Conan Exiles, once again in the Isle of Siptah. And today this video, folks, it's partly a test video but also a showcase video. I'm going to show you how to farm the Maelstrom for the 3 skull bosses, and obviously for that you will get the unstable, or the, I think it's the greater question marks. So this is what I've chosen to build. This is an area right here that is just outside the Maelstrom. So the Maelstrom kind of spans around in a big circle around the center of the map. Now I know there is a section right here that is just outside the Maelstrom. So what I've done is I've built the structure right here, potentially built it wrong because you can't build during the Maelstrom when you're close to it. And what you want to do is you want to find the sweet spot where basically where it's not in the Maelstrom, and you want to build a structure that is somewhere around 410 structures. So you can use the building pieces, you can use the placeables such as chests, beds, and stuff like that. I'm not sure if it works with things like plates, cups and stuff like that, so keep that in mind, but you do want to use 410. Now I built a little thing outside that should go into the Maelstrom, so that thing that you see going to the side will go into the Maelstrom and should spawn us the bosses. So the idea is you want to build your main structure outside of the Maelstrom. I'll show you how that works and how you gauge it. I potentially gauged it a bit wrong here, so we'll see. This is a learning experience for me as well. So basically you might have to go through maybe 2 Maelstroms to kind of gauge the size of what you can build, but you want to build it on a cliffy area. This can be like an outpost as well, so that's why I've built upwards. I might have to modify the structure, but I can't quite know until we're in the Maelstrom. I have a feeling that I have gone a bit too long. Now, of course, the Maelstrom itself will destroy and damage the building pieces, so that is quite important. So your main structure needs to be outside of the Maelstrom with, I'd say, things or sides protruding into the Maelstrom. So it's about this big right here, and so you want to look for good area that is kind of cliffy, that is off the ground to build, that also has access or is that will go into the Maelstrom. I'll show you that later. It's kind of difficult to explain without showing you. I'm going to wait for a Maelstrom to start. So I've placed down plenty of chests where I can store stuff, and I would probably also use thralls for this. They are 3 skull bosses, so they are quite difficult. So I'll just continue building and we'll see what the size is, and then I'll correct it during the Maelstrom. Alright, here we are. A Maelstrom has started, and we're going to look at the bosses. Now the minimum, as I said, you want to put down in terms of building pieces would of course be 410. That seems to be the sweet spot to spawn in the 3 skull bosses. Now you can see in my upper left corner we have an icon with a tornado. That means I'm in the Maelstrom. So basically this right here is in the Maelstrom. If I move slightly to the opposite side, slightly to the left, I will be out of the Maelstrom. So that's basically what I'm doing right now. I'm gauging the structure that will be in the Maelstrom and what will not be in the Maelstrom, and then I am going to remove the pieces that are in the Maelstrom, because they will be damaged, if not by the bosses, then by the Maelstrom itself. So let's have a look here. I'm trying to gauge by foundations where the structure goes into the Maelstrom. So right here, this is a piece right here, this is the outer edge, and from here I can then have like a ring or a protrusion out of my base that goes straight into the Maelstrom. That will be attached of course to the base, and even if a foundation or a structure does fall apart, it does seem to of course stay attached to the structure. So this right here, this is in the Maelstrom, this is not. I go this way, we're back in the Maelstrom. So maybe I want to look at redesigning this, which I'll do later on. Now let's look at the bosses. And over there we now have a boss that has spawned in. So that is a structure that's meant to go into the Maelstrom, which will of course then cause the bosses to spawn in. Now of course the bits that go into the Maelstrom will receive damage, so you will have to constantly repair that. but you have to have those structures going into the Maelstrom to get the bosses to spawn in. So that is the catch right there. We have another boss right there. I might need to make some slight adjustments to this. This guy is the boss. I saw some structures get destroyed. That is, of course, the Maelstrom itself, not the boss. This guy looks kind of cool. And he seems to be a dragon boss. Once again, 3 skulls. We'll use the admin commands to kill him and harvest them to show you that you get the greater question marks. Over here we got this guy. He is the spider one. Looks kind of scary. So sometimes, as you can see, they will spawn up there. Other times they'll spawn down on the ground. This is all dependent on the area that you find, the cliff that you find, and how you build your structure. So that's quite important to note as well. And so obviously it will take a couple of Maelstroms to get the perfect design. It will vary depending on where you build. So this is my finished product. So let me explain what's going on. So we've got the structure going upwards where it's out of the Maelstrom. Then we have the structure going around that will go into the Maelstrom. So basically this is the main building right here. It's out of the Maelstrom. It's safe. Now certain pieces might get damaged, so it might require some repairs from time to time. The steps and the platform that go around the cliff, down the middle of the cliff, will go into the Maelstrom and we'll get the bosses to spawn. This should have well enough in terms of pieces to kind of count as 410 pieces. And then obviously once you build your main structure, that will be 410 pieces. What you want to do is you want to have like a wing or a platform on the cliff that goes into the Maelstrom that will then cause the bosses to spawn. So this is my location. Once again, this is basically the area, the size of the Maelstrom. It's up to you to find the cliff areas, and then when a Maelstrom happens, to kind of gauge where you're in the Maelstrom and when you're out the Maelstrom. So that's right there. That should get the bosses to spawn. So now I can farm them. I'm going to use thralls and stuff like that to help me take out the bosses and stuff. It's not that difficult, but you do want the greater question marks if you're going to use the ley shrines to summon the stronger surges that you can of course then use to farm the tier 3 and 4 thralls. So that's quite important. This is what we're building up to. Now I've shown you in my previous video how to get the better recipes, or how to get all the recipes out of the delving bench. This is how to get the greater question marks, and then we'll be looking at how to kind of tame the tier 4 thralls. So this is kind of like a little mini series, if you want to call it that, that will pretty much lead to that. And then obviously we'll be doing all of the Elder Vaults, and this is all about gearing up to get to that point. But this is how you do it. This is what my structure ended up looking like. Now of course the structure is, as I said, dependent on the area that I've chosen to build. This is what I found. There are so many areas that have a cliffy sort of area to them that you can build on, that are both in and out of the Maelstrom. The important key factors here are 410 pieces, building pieces that you want out of the Maelstrom. You can have them going into the Maelstrom, but I would probably safely build the main structure of at least 410 pieces out of the Maelstrom, and then have like a little wing, as you see there, that or a platform that goes, or a ledge that goes into the Maelstrom. That will cause the bosses to spawn. If you have an area that's just basically a cliff and straight upwards, you can then not worry about bosses dropping on your head. I don't really care about that, because those pieces will be destroyed either by the bosses or by the Maelstrom itself, so it will require constant repairs. Also, whilst I'm on the topic, it is important to note that you can change the requirement for building pieces to get the bosses to spawn in. If you own your own server, there is a setting for that. I went with the default settings, so these would be the requirements for official servers. However, you can take it up or take it down depending on what you want to do. I think 410 pieces is a fair requirement, so I kept it as is. With that being said and done, that is pretty much it for this video, folks. I do hope that you have enjoyed it and found this video useful and informative. If you have, please don't forget to support me and the channel by hitting that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and haven't already for more similar content from myself. And if you have just subscribed, why not? Check out some of my other videos and guides here on this channel. Who knows, you might just enjoy them. And don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you get notified when I upload new videos and content to the channel. Also, for those interested, you can always find me on the Siptah Discord. Links, of course, you can find down below in the video's description. And until next time, stay safe, folks.